Hello. So, I've never actually made a web video about anything ever before. When I worked in radio, everything was audio. I never was compelled to actually film myself and my emotions on my face over anything until right now. And the event that changed all that was Robin Williams' death today. Uh, Actually, I had to wipe off all the tears on my face before I started this video. And actually, I have no idea what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to do any of those stupid, like, Jenna Marble cuts where everything's, like, perfectly edited, everything like that. I'm just going to let it go right here. Robin Williams was, without a doubt, my favorite stand-up comedian. Without a doubt. And quite possibly one of my top five favorite actors of all times. I don't know if I could really narrow down my favorite actor of all time, but it's just kind of ironic because I've been out on workman's comp for several weeks now over a knee injury, and I've been watching a lot of movies on Netflix, watching my DVD collection. As a lot of my personal friends know and followers of me at Craptastic Cinema know, I own over 4,000 movies, and that's not a joke. Those are actual DVDs in cases, or in some situations where the cases disappeared and they're on spindles, or digital copies of movies, blah 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 blah. But I own quite a bit of movies. And one of those is the fact that I own every movie Robin Williams has been in. Um, Growing up as a kid, I'm sure my mom could verify this too. I would never miss Mork and Mindy. Every single episode. Now, granted, I'm a little bit younger than what the show's original run was, but it was definitely a show that I caught on reruns. It was on like every afternoon, and I watched it every afternoon, and I didn't miss a single episode. I've probably seen each one of those episodes at least 3 times through on the series. Um, but then from there, the movies that he was in, it was just really just so many good movies. Um, First movie I could clearly remember, and it wasn't even that great of a comedy or anything like that, was uh, oh, jeez. I'm sorry, I'm shook up here. It's the one where he's the Russian living in New York. Completely can't remember it right now. But, you think about this, a lot of people remember the big ones. They remember Jumanji. They remember the Aladdin series. But there were so many good ones in there. There was Dead Poets Society, The Fisher King, Jack, great movie there. Matter of fact, fantastic movie, Jack. One of his better movies. Mrs. Doubtfire. Again, Aladdin's 1 and 2, or 1 and 3. He wasn't in part 2. There was. I just this last week, I watched Hook. I watched Patch Adams the day before I went into surgery. Um, List just goes on and on and on. RV, funny movie. Birdcage. Matter of fact, I was just talking with my buddy Seth about all the events that went down today, because Seth and I, we were two peas in a pod. I mean, we were probably the biggest Robin Williams nerds growing up. We could quote pretty much you name the Robin Williams, we could quote it word for word. And him and I, we were just talking about it, and he was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm popping on Birdcage right now. And, I may end up watching something Robin Williams later today. Though, granted, I did watch Aladdin this morning before I found out the news. No joke, my daughter Phoebe and I, we watched Aladdin this morning, the first one. Um, hmm, just a dang shame. It's a dang shame, he killed himself, and it's one of those ones that the ones that make you laugh usually are the ones that are the saddest themselves. It's that Smokey Robinson song, Tears of a Clown. You could tell probably Robin Williams was a crying clown. He was a true jester of our times. He wasn't, yeah, granted, if you weren't a Democrat, you probably weren't agreeing with a lot of his things. And me being kind of right in the middle of things, I found the humor in it. I I didn't really think anything too negatively about his humor. It was very political based, but he was definitely a jester. He wasn't afraid to just make you laugh at what was going on. Granted, a lot of his stuff was dated to the 1980s. Matter of fact, his best routine, I got it right here. Robin Williams live from the Metropolitan Opera House. I think this was 1985. Mm, maybe 86. Doesn't say on the back of this one for some reason. Got it on CD too. Let's see. Okay, this is 1986. So it was probably 1986, maybe recorded in 1985. Can't remember quite well. For just for the record, this album right here, Robin Williams, Night at the Met, I went through 3 copies of this on cassette. I played it that often. It wore out my cassette 3 times over. This particular CD, I actually bought with my wife the day we went for our honeymoon back in 2000. Oh, geez, when did we get married? 2002? No, we got married in 2001. See, I remembered, honey. Don't get upset with me. But we actually went to Tower Records before we got into our car and drove down on our honeymoon. And this was an album we played on a loop as we drove to Disneyland for our honeymoon. On a loop. No joke. Remember these from Tower Records right here? The nice price stickers? R.I.P. Tower Records, by the way, too. This album, best comedy album ever recorded by anybody. It is hilarious. It's nonstop. It's quotable. It's memorable. And it's something that I think that everybody needs to own in their collection. It's possibly because as many movies as I own music wise too. I collected music for years before I started collecting my movie collection. So my music collection, if I were to put it in terms of gigabytes, we would actually be talking about like 20 terabytes worth of music is what I really have about there. But they're literally, I have a closet full of CDs. I have 3 bookshelves full of CDs. Crazy amount of music. And over the course of my life, Robin Williams' A Night at the Met is without a doubt the most played album I've ever had in my entire collection. It's just a classic. I mean, shoot. I wore Hawaiian shirts because of this. Granted, I'm wearing Return of the Jedi today, but whatever. I just want to say that thank you, Robin Williams. Thank you for entertaining all of us. Thank you for being a laugh track when we needed one. For giving us a punchline in situations where there wasn't many punchlines. Thank you very much, Robin Williams, for being Robin Williams. You will be missed, not only by me, but by pretty much everybody that's ever seen your work on this entire planet. You are one of a kind, you were loved, and you are definitely going to be missed.